Okay, that's right. Great and glorious Nick Dutch here yet again. This is a completely off-topic post, but what the hell. I just wanted to discuss some of the ideas going on inside my mind. As you know, I work as an online tarot reader. The income, the sales value is going down bit by bit. Obviously, I'm trying to maximize my revenue in various different ways. Whatever. But I was concerned because if the revenues are going down, that could well be due to this wonderful, massive global economic decline that everyone is celebrating with lots of videos on YouTube and going on about the various, conspiracy theories and all the rest of it. If it is true that we are heading for massive global economic decline, or we're already in massive economic decline, or we've already been in a recession or a depression or whatever, it still becomes quite imperative to think about ways of saving some money. If you've been watching my videos since like a little while ago, you'll notice that I had an infatuation with hydrogen gas. It's all part of my general interest in alternative energy. This interest is growing more and more and more because I'm thinking, what would happen if I've got very little resources to put money in my electric meter or put money in my gas meter? And is there ways in which I can reduce slightly during the summer months, for instance, the cost of heating water or even cooking? So I've been looking into how to make alcohol. I mean, obviously, if you want to use alternative fuel, you got different types. You got solid, liquid, or gas. With liquid, you got alcohol. With solid, you got wood, maybe even charcoal or coal. And with gas, you got methane. There's also hydrogen, but that comes from water, usually. And that would have to happen via electrolysis, and it would consume electricity to be able to make the hydrogen in the first place, which might not be a totally efficient reaction anyway. So you have to think about, you got to think about the cost, either in terms of time or in terms of money, of creating or using the actual energy source itself. If the worst comes to the worst, then I should be able to still cook or heat water for washing my hands and face on an alcohol stove, on a methanol stove. They seem to be incredibly cheap and easy to make. Just have a look out on YouTube for like the Coke can and beer can methanol stoves. They're amazing. So I could possibly envisage a scenario in which I have to somehow barter and or trade for methanol so I can then heat water. Very pessimistically speaking. Then of course there's solid fuel. Now there is a recreation ground, a park near me. There may be twigs, leaves, the occasional extra bit of wood that I can find there. So that's a possibility to use as free fuel. The expense, of course, in that respect is the time to gather it. At the moment, there's still junk mail coming through the letterbox. I could always try and use that as solid fuel if I was to get a wood or make a wood gas stove. Now, the wood gas stoves, it seems like you can make that from a couple of coffee tins as well as either some fireproof epoxy resin or just some other metal thing to make the kind of a lid. Have a look out for the wood gas stoves here on YouTube. They're pretty cool. And there are some which you power by little AA batteries. I mean, all this combustion stuff I'd have to do outside because there's obviously products of combustion in the form of carbon monoxide and other nasties, including water vapor. You don't want your home to be, saturated with water vapor. You don't want to suffocate by carbon monoxide. With the hydrogen, I was thinking of getting a solar panel and finding ways of separating the hydrogen and the oxygen, but that still require quite a heavy investment in components. So I will hopefully be getting some components together slowly and surely over the coming months so I can actually make some hydrogen. And if I do really well one month, then to invest some of that money in a photovoltaic panel so when the summer comes, because I don't think I'll be able to do this during the winter. I don't think I can generate enough power in the form of hydrogen to somehow rig that into the boiler system. and keep the place warm. And I'm certainly not burning anything inside the flat to make heat, because there's no fireplace here, and so that sort of thing is out of the question. I can't heat the place unless, of course, I was to create hydrogen and oxygen gas through electrolysis, run that through an electricity generator, and use that to power my radiance heater, which is about 1,300 and something watt. So that's a possibility if I can find one like dirt cheap, and then get it, delivered here without the neighbors noticing. So these are just the thoughts going around inside my mind. I still don't believe that this is some kind of major globalist Illuminati kind of like conspiracy. I just don't believe that. Because I think that the evidence is more against that than for it. But I would say that we have economic decline, and as such, you do have to think a little way ahead. I'm not getting paranoid about it. Just if you need to wash, you need to wash. If you need water for a nice cup of tea or coffee to warm yourself up, you need water for a nice cup of tea or coffee to warm yourself up. If I can do that without costing anything, that would be great. Obviously, I'm still working. I still need my computer. I need the internet. And otherwise, I wouldn't be able to talk to all you cool guys out there, and that would be pretty not very good. Didn't want to, get this video algorithmically demoted, so I thought I wouldn't swear. What else? Of course, I still got a little air rifle, so maybe I could use that and try and get a rabbit. I'll have to watch more videos on how to do something with rabbits. And have to work out where around here you can actually get a rabbit. That's another issue altogether. And there is a stream, a bit of a walk away. Maybe I could get some fish there. We still have some fishing rods left over from when I was a kid somewhere looking around the house. But then it's a question of bait, and so then you've still got to be able to dig and get bait, and that's also a time expense. So people talk about free energy, alright? If you're not spending out for the equipment that you need to make the free energy, if you're not spending the time to be able to gather your free energy, your energy is not completely free. And as far as hydrogen, a lot of the videos on YouTube are saying this is free fuel. Well, it isn't. And even if it's free to run your car, that's only because your alternator is producing some extra power anyway, and you're still using it, and you use it, and it's not, in most cases, it's not running the car on a hydroxy mix. It's more a question of using it to supplement your existing fuel, so there's still an expense there. So when you're working out what type of energy you want to use, so remember it's solid, liquid or gas, you've got to work out how to make it. Of course, I haven't mentioned the other way of making gas, and that's to use a wood gas making thing, and they look big. And there's images of the FEMA plan ones which are out there, and I don't know whether I don't have the ability to make one of those. I don't have the space. I don't have anything that it takes to do that. So that'll be out of the question for me. Okay, well, just a few of my thoughts. See if I don't know if that'll make you think or whatever, but just bear in mind, solid, liquid, gas, or photovoltaic, or wind. Those are your options, but it's always an expense.